OMI update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For now, welcome back. I love y'all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. Become a member. There's tons of perks, and also Raythax.eth domain name. We love it. So there is quite a bit to go over. I wasn't able to do a Veve video today. I had that podcast with Darcy Donovan. I did something last night. I forget what it was. We'll start off with OMI. I know the last video I'd done, I had gone on and talked about the XRP ruling and how that's probably a good thing for OMI, just because, not in the sense that OMI was ever really going to be labeled as security. It most definitely wasn't. There was definitely other things like not XRP, like Hex. Hex would definitely be labeled security. There's just a lot of other cryptos that the SEC would have gone after, that they probably would have had an easier time going after and getting, as opposed to OMI. Just because OMI is not US based, it's foreign based. They are very cautious about what they do. So again, not that OMI was really ever in any danger in that way, but having said that, once the XRP ruling came in, you probably have David and Dan going, oh, wiping the sweat off their brow, going and saying, oh, we're probably free to do not whatever we want, but we're probably free to be a little bit less overzealous with it, maybe having a little less zeal, and going and saying, hey, we could probably do this now, or X, Y, and Z. Anyway, moving on here. Let's see what OMI hath done over the last, well, I guess we'll do Bitcoin first. All right, so Bitcoin down 3.4% on the day. You don't just shoot up 5% in one day and then go, I didn't expect them to go down that much in the last day. Ethereum down 4%, BNB down 4%, XRP down 7.3%, but again, XRP is up over 50% over the last couple of days. It just happens to be a little bit down now. And that's the other thing I wanted to go over. So we're talking about OMI. We have XRP, which had a 20-something billion dollar market cap, and it had reached like a $45 billion market cap in one day. All right, so I get it. It's like, oh, well, yeah, XRP didn't even do a 100x or 100%. It didn't even double. What makes you think that OMI can do a 10 or 100x in 2 years? Like, listen, a lot of people don't understand market cap. So when you talk about XRP, yes, you are correct. It did not do a doubling. XRP is not going to do a 3x in a day or a 5x in a month. I mean, maybe it could do that at some point, but as OMI can. Why? And it's like, well, and I know the arguments, like, well, XRP is more well-known. People have known about it for years. Everyone has been supporting XRP for years. Because again, from the SEC, an attack on one is an attack on all. If XRP can't do a 2x, why do you think OMI would? You have to take a look at market cap. XRP had like a 20 to $25 billion market cap before the ruling came out that they were not a security. And then what happened? Yeah, they might have only gone to about 45 billion, which again, a ton of money. But yeah, it's not a doubling, but why am I so bullish on it? That's still $20 billion that went into the market cap. You realize that already is 100x of what OMI is, right? Like even 1/10, if OMI gets 1/10 of what XRP did, that's still $2 billion in a day. So $2 billion, what's that do to us? That's like a 12x. I mean, we go from 0006 to 0072. I'm a millionaire again at that point. Why does that matter? Because again, we do 1/10 of that, and that's in one day. I don't know if you guys, for those of you that haven't been here, let me spin you a yarn. One sec, I need some more daddy soda. OMI had at one point gone from quad 06 to 0.01 within a couple of weeks. Again, let me say that again. They went from quad 0, as in 4 zeros, 0.00006 to 0.01. They lost quite a couple zeros on there. Why? Again, super low market cap. They had a super good utility, which they will have again. And again, we were not on as many exchanges as we are now. We will have other pairings. It won't just be USDT. It will be other pairings. And that reminds me, we have a lot of stuff to get into as far as how many people are coming into this. What I'm going to do, I'm not waiting for any more. I guess I'll go into this now. Before I get to the news, I'm not waiting for any more signs like, hey, okay, hey, we're going to roll out the ambassador program. Hey, we're going to get localized in this. We're doing it. I talked with Darcy Donovan, the most recent podcast. She was just on a few hours ago. I talked to her on camera the last 15 minutes. Well, I mean, watch the whole thing, but the last 15 minutes is probably good to watch, saying, oh, hey, Randy, I got you for that movie. We've talked about it since last year, but since the writer's strike, we're not able to do this. That's fair. I understand. I did another acting gig while waiting for this. I had another acting gig in conjunction with this as well before your movie, but that acting gig happened to take a backseat because of this writer's strike, because of the Screen Actors Guild. And it's like, no problem. By the way, that movie that I had in mind, it's going to turn into a trilogy. We had this actor that was, earmarked for it. Now for the second movie, we have this actor and this actor. And I was like, oh, okay. And I'm going to be in all of them. It's going to be great. So when I go past this, for those of you that don't know, like you guys, I posted the trailer for it. It's the trailer called Looks Can Kill. Let me see what you can search for it. Let's do the... Yeah, so it just came out. The trailer came out 2 months ago. It's called Looks Can Kill trailer by Eric Jensen. He's the guy that did The Staircase on HBO. So, I'm in the trailer, I think once or twice. I'll be in the... I'm in the background, just an extra, but I'll be in the background again, another scene that they haven't shown with a Veve shirt on. And you could be damn sure that the next couple of times that I'm going to be in Hollywood, the next couple of times I'm going to have these acting gigs, you can be damn sure Vivi's going to be a part of it. You could be damn sure that every single day I'm on set, I'm going to be taking pictures of the alligator Lokis and the Marvel Mighties and the Spider-Man and the Superman. I'm going to be showing everyone. Gloves are coming off. I'm not waiting for the okay to say like, yeah, we're good. Like it's happening now. Like we're doing it. There are going to be more we've had steady growth, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit more. We are going to go and get a lot more users before the end of the year. Some of them from me, most of them are going to be from other places. And again, I'll go into the rest of the news and everything else while we're here, but one of the perquisites of being in the public limelight is by going and saying, hey, every now and then I happen to get introduced to really interesting, really powerful, really influential people. I had mentioned to Darcy, hey, if you need any funding for any of your projects, I have a buddy of mine that happens to be a Vivi and OMI whale. He is in the top 100 wallets in Vivi. He has more OMI than I do. And he is one of the companies that he co-owns with a buddy of mine, a friend of ours, and they do movies. And they fund movies. And I asked Darcy, like, hey, if you need anyone, she's like, that's perfect. We need that. Oh, hey, I can tell you who is going to be at New York Comic Con. And that was Alejandra Guajardo, who is the Miss El Salvador. She wore the Bitcoin dress. She will be at New York Comic Con. And then privately, I told her one or two other people that would be there that I can't say publicly. And she invited me to an event in Las Vegas. There's going to be a big meetup over there. Every single person that I meet, hey, let me tell you about Veve. Let me tell you about the power of David Yu, Dan Crothers, and Al Kahn. Let me tell you what they've been up to. And they're going to eat it up. The event I went to last year in the Hamptons, where I happened to get on Janine Yorio and Ken Gwynn and Doug Flutie, who will be on in the future. I'm still waiting for something to happen with that. It's a long story. You guys will understand as soon as it happens. Yeah, a lot of these people, and I can't say who I went with, but there are other people that will be on that this is all going here. Like this is all going to happen this year into next year, but it'll start this year. We're going to get a lot more users with a lot more money, and yeah, it's you have a lot of powerful people and a lot of influential people going, and this is going to happen. Using all of the social capital that I have, all of the Randy Chavez, all of me belongs to all of you. Anywho, we have some other news to go through. Let's get this bread. But first, before I do that, we're gonna go to my channel, We're going to go to my lives, and we are going to ask everyone to go and smash that like button. That is, oh God, where is it? Free way to help support the channel. That'd be super great if you could do that. I am multiple seconds behind on my live, so I'm gonna do that again. Okay, there we go. Okay. And then we're going to get into some of the news, which I haven't been able to go on since yesterday. Let's see what we got here. Okay, David, you liking the Iron Man stuff? Collectibles were being sold, XRP stuff. Okay, so we have, we'll bring up some FUD. We have some FUDders talking about, I won't say who it is, saying like, hey, does a slogan create collectors? I would argue it doesn't. The original audience is, or actually, let me do this. Quote, does a slogan create collectors? I would argue it doesn't. The original audience is irrelevant. I think the branding lacks identity and creativity. If the core message is collectors at heart, I feel it could have been translated without using words. So let me go on and read, end quote. So let me go on and read a response to that absolute ridiculous, well, a follow-up from this person had said, quote, don't you find it strange? Veve pushed this collectors at heart ideology when other collectible genres don't have to. It's almost like you're trying to convince people it's worthy of collecting. The impression it gives is unnatural, whereas other mediums happen organically. End quote. So again, let me read you a beautiful response by Metaverse Life, where he says, well, I know firsthand that what it means to be a collector at heart. It's different for everyone. I spent 5 weeks on the road visiting Veve fam in different cities on the western side of the US and parts of Canada, interviewing them, hanging out. These were not hand-picked Veve members. Most of them I've never interacted with before. Most of them I've never interacted with before. Their passion for collecting was already there. Veve official just put it into words. If it seems cringe or makes you feel a certain way, I challenge you to ask yourself why you personally are affected by an ideology of what it means to be a collector at heart coming from a company. Personally, I never really collected anything growing up. Physical items weren't where I placed my value, so my definition is different than those I met on the road. I'm curious, what does it mean to you? And that question was left unread. There was no response. I have a little bit of disdain for the person that had posted the original question. Obviously, the response from Metaverse Life is obviously beautiful. But it's just, I feel like some people, especially the FUDders, feel like some of the supporters of Veve, like myself, view Veve as this piety, like that they're a religious event, which I'm not going to say that they're not. I mean, for most people, it's like, oh, hey, it's something to do with the family, it's something to do with friends. You click the buy now button, you smash it, and yeah, are the Veve fam, like in general, are they munificent? Absolutely. They're the amount of derision that they get, the amount of mockery that is just thrust upon them, I think is very unwarranted. But you have these FUDders, like these people that just, parse upon every single word that me and other Veve influencers go and say, is like, trying to look for any little mistake. And I am not going to cede to any of that nonsense. That is absolutely, there's no way I'm doing it. And if there is a way to make a détente, or if there's a way to make a easing of hostilities between me and other influencers of other projects, I'll do that. For the most part, though, who I really get on my channel is like Darcy Donovan, who was just on, that had graced us with her sartorial charm and her Xanadu that she had gone on and live streamed from, and same thing with tomorrow. So tomorrow I will have Prince Manvendra. Let me go and I don't want to go and mispronounce where he is from. India, but let's take a look-see. So this will be my second time getting royalty over on the podcast. So Prince Monvendra is the oh wow, we have Raythax with $100 super chat. Thank you so much. Saying just wanted to stop by and share some of my XRP profit. We will be one of the platforms standing. Bet. Cheers to you, Raythax. And so Raythax, for those of you that do not know, Raythax, in the last couple of years that I've known him, first off, in the many years that I've known him, I've come to know him as an honest and decent man. And he's also one of the most kindest and caring persons that I've ever met. And even though we've tried to meet up a couple times, I invited him to a vacation spot that I'll tell you all about. I'll live stream from the vacation spot. Raythax has, obviously very busy, but he's never been wrong as far as financial investments over the last couple of years. Axie Infinity, you remember them? He got in before anyone ever heard of them. Earth2, y'all remember me and Arya Realty going super hard on promoting that because it was a great deal. At that time, I was focused on buying a trophy Kangaskhan. So I could only put in, about 5-10 grand. I've easily taken out 20K from them. With an extra like 20K that's on there, not including the essence. Arya Realty had put in like 50K. He had easily taken out 100. Anyway, long story short, he's a very, very big player in the Earth2 industry. Link down below to the Earth2 game. Link down below to my Megacity. Link down below to my referral code if you want to go and buy in my Megacity or anywhere in Earth2. So he was in that. He's in Vivi and OMI. He's got a ton of OMI. He's got a bunch of Veve NFTs. And obviously XRP. He had a bunch of XRP and he's coming in and sharing with some of the profit. And he just got engaged. So shout out to Raythax for... And he's prior military like I am. We love him. Anyway, just enough of me going on about Raythax, where I talk about him in every single video, where I talk about his Raythax.eth domain name. When we have people like, again, most people I have on nowadays that I try to have on are people that do have that, like I said, sartorial charm, like, what's the Lady Gaga, like Darcy Donovan and Manvendra Singh Gohil. Prince Manvendra, who is one of the princes of India in the Rajpipla area. He will be on at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, about 22 and a half hours from now. Cannot wait for that. Toast to the, Vir Triumphalis. Prince Manvendra or Raythax. And as I was saying, I'm not one that is typically swayed by grandiose gestures. I am very big on loyalty. So when I see people that have, originally gone on and posted about Veve, which is fine. And again, I post and talk all the time about Grumpy Cat, about 4chan, because I'm having fun. I talk about Pokemon a lot. I talk about Tesla a lot. Do you think Pokemon's paying me? No. I've never taken a payday from anyone, whether it be Grumpy Cat. I just do it for fun because I like it and I love the community. I love the project. Same thing with 4chan. I love the community. I love the project. Both of those contracts are announced. It's just a good community. But Pokemon, Tesla, like none of these companies pay me. I go and I talk about them because I like them. So it's okay to go and branch out. If you originally talked about Veve and then you go and say, oh, I want to talk about this project because I like it, or this project because I think it's interesting, and you just do an absolute deep dive on them and you go and you decide, hey, this is what I like about the project, this is what I don't, that's fine. When Lori Brenner went on and interviewed the CEO of Cryptoys, she had mentioned, like, oh, hey, here's like an interview. And you had seen, not that I wasn't a fan, Cryptoys, the people that ran it, they seemed like really good people. They seemed like their heart was in the right place. And but that was it. It seemed like they were trying to siphon off Veve influencers. And I was like, okay, well, you know what? If I was in your position, I might do the same thing. It might be something that I would do. Um, and I'll get into the influencers that jump ship later, but I wasn't sold on them. I wasn't, when I originally looked at crypto, I was like, okay, listen, you guys aren't doing a lot of volume. You're not having a lot of revenue. You're the amount that your expenses are severely outweighing your income. So I didn't like them. I never talked about them in a way that I said you should buy these for an investment. I said, hey, if you like them and you think they're fun and you think that this company could eke out a profit in the future, and sure, buy them for fun. And then when I listened to the Cryptoys interview with Lori Brenner, and I realized that they're going to do the exact same thing that Veve did. They're going to have a closed ecosystem, meaning that you're not going to be able to take your cryptoys and put them on OpenSea or put them on anywhere else. You can buy and sell them, sure, but within that cryptoys arena, within that cryptoys walled garden. When I realized that their first and secondary and tertiary market, whatever you want to call it, is going to be modeled after Veve, their entire business model will be modeled after Veve, I got more bullish on them. So I understand that it's okay to go and branch out to other companies. Fine. I love that. Obviously, again, grandiose gestures are not my thing. It's just what I saw when people go and are salty that they, don't get any attention from the Veve fam or the Veve team, and then they talk crap about Veve. I was like, okay, well, if you're talking crap about Veve for no good reason other than the fact that they don't come on your streams, like, well, why are you doing content? Are you doing content for the clout, or are you doing content because you have a passion for it, you like talking about it, and this is just your passion? When you go and talk crap about a company, especially when you're flooding other people's investments, you have to expect quite a bit of hate. I get told to like unalive myself on Reddit every single week, and it's like, okay, that comes with the territory. But when other people do it and then they play victim, it's like, okay, like, you're talking crap about other people's investments that they put millions of dollars into this. You should expect something like that. Again, I'm just throwing that out there. Anyway, moving on to other news. We have Vivi going and posting, don't miss out your chance to win, kicking off our weekly social sweepstakes on Instagram. You could win one of the Platinum Moments Pixar series, Miguel, Woody, Nemo, etc. Now, that did end yesterday, but everyone and their sister was going and tagging Randy Chavez in those comments. I must have gotten tagged like 80 different times on Instagram, because what you had to do is you had to like it, you had to share it, and you had to tag someone. And everyone was tagging me, and that's fine. I understand that. I liked most of those. But I'm just saying, that's quite a lot. Anyway, moving on here. Where was I? Should I? I guess I'll talk about this real quick. There was a buddy of mine, well, someone that had found me on YouTube because I was talking about 4chan. They had bought into 4chan when it was $800,000, an $800,000 market cap. Did they cash out when it was a $33 million market cap? No, but they cashed out a little bit at 26, a little bit at 22, a little bit at 18, and they had made a grand total of $90,000 on it. Now that Grumpy Cat, which has gotten approval of 3 CEX listings, putting most of that into Grumpy Cat and a little bit into 4chan. So yeah, you make the money, you put it back in when it comes down. That's what this person's doing. And this person that had made almost 6 figures in like a month is going to make another 6 figures in another month between Grumpy Cat and 4chan. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I mean, I am, but not to you guys. This is just for fun, and that's what he's doing, and that's what he'll make. Anywho, moving on. We have Eric, the Veve believer, saying, I'm buying a sub 100 Robin for 1,000 gems right now. If anyone wants to sell, please DM me. And this person had posted how many Robins they had. They had 22 at the time. Let me go and make this a little bit darker so that you can see. They had 22 of those first appearance Robins at the time. And when you go on and take a look, you see, oh, hey, this Carmine Infantino Robin, he had purchased a number 41. That's what it's like, oh my God. The 41s are quickly becoming the whales' favorite things to do. You have Mr. 41.eth that has 100 of these. I have one. I have the gold and silver Veve logo number 41, and that's it. And I'm kind of an OMI whale, and I don't have a lot of those 41s. I just have one of them. When you have other people with their sole purpose is to buy the number 41s, it's going to be worth a fudge ton in the future. Like these people, it's not like, oh, hey, I have $10,000 to spend and that's it. That's my life savings. Guys, some people make six figures a month. Let me say that again. Some people make six figures a month. Some people don't get out of bed for that. There are some people that I've run into in the high-end art world. $1 million, too cheap. I'm not gonna buy something where it's just $1 million because yeah, they might have 6 or 8 houses, they might have whatever, but they're not talking about artwork that is. They're not going to spend $1 million on something that takes up this much space. They'll spend $50 million on it. Guys, the amount, I'll tell you this right now because I'm a little tipsy. I probably shouldn't be saying this. I have a buddy of mine that is good friends with the owner of PSA, or the CEO of PSA, the Professional Sports Authenticators. And he had said, like, hey, where's most of the money coming from? He's like, well, we have offices, in the US. We're going to open offices in other parts of the world. But right now, a lot of Americans, that's where the bulk of it is. Okay, how many of these are foreign investments? I was expecting like 5%, quite a bit more. It's quite a bit more. And what a lot of these people, whether they are from Dubai, whether they're from Kuwait, whether they're from Japan, Shanghai, wherever they are, they're buying a lot of Americana collectibles. Whether it's baseball cards, Pokemon cards, football cards, they're buying a lot of these collectibles. And they haven't gotten into the Web3 digital collectibles yet. But a lot of what these foreign princes, what these foreign billionaires are doing, they're buying a lot of American-sized collectibles. I saw this in Earth2 when somebody spent $50,000 on the tiles that held the Statue of Liberty. It is one of my great follies in life that I had not purchased that first. Because now, in America, even though it's technically French, it's given to us from the French, that American icon of the Statue of Liberty is not in the hands of America or an American. It's in the hands of someone from South Korea. You can be damn sure that, I'll tell you right now, most of the 10% of the Walton Mickeys are not American owned. And I will say that the reason why I'm not too salty about it is because it's a friend of mine that owns them. But that's an American symbol, and that should be held by Americans. And that person that happens to own 10% of them, it's not lucky. The person is exceedingly intelligent. That person just happens to have a bunch of money and was lucky that they found the project early and they knew what they found. It's a gold mine. All of these people with that Arab money, the crazy rich Asians that you see on TV, on Netflix, they're going to buy this up like nobody's business. Could you imagine in the Veveverse, the land that they're going to create? I get it. Singaporean company. Disney's attached, Marvel's attached. Again, this is just a Veve. In the Veveverse, I don't know exactly who's going to be there, but you'd be damn sure that they're going to be buying all of that land. You could be damn sure that they're going to be buying the first appearance of Mickey Mouse on the blockchain. No question. And part of my goal, part of what I've tried to concoct together over the last year, but really more so over the last couple months, is all of these whales buying all this Americana product and going and holding out so that these foreign investments don't get it. Is that a little ethnocentric of me? Sure. I mean, technically, I'm not even born American myself. I was born in Peru, but because I served in the military and I've lived here most of my life, I consider myself an American. Um, this, you guys are not ready for what is about to come. This, again, these people, again, a buddy of mine that is very good friends with the CEO of PSA, and they're saying 20% of their business is coming from these people overseas, not in America. There's this one person that bought 1.3 million baseball cards. Not $1.3 million of baseball cards, 1.3 million baseball cards, just in general. I don't know how much room that would take up. Probably this entire room that I live in. And they're going to grade 20,000 of those cards. Obviously, PSA does tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands a day. Yeah, this is as Americans, I feel like I realize only half my audience is Americans, but we need to start buying up the Vaders, the Spider-Mans, the partners, because the Luke Skywalkers, because other countries are going to get it, and we're going to be very salty that that particular IP is not in Americans' hands. There's going to be dogfights over that. There's going to be wars over that. Well, not actual wars, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I've talked for 30 minutes about that. We're gonna continue on here with the news. There's Donovan stuff. All right, hang on. And you don't have to be a prodigious person or have a prodigious position in order to participate. You can go and you don't have to get, the Emperor's Fist. You don't have to get something that's that expensive, or the Secret Rare Spider-Man. You can get one of the lower ones. That's fine. Like if you have somebody that's willing to proffer that for you, willing to, give you that, acceptance for whatever, like I said, that's fine. Moving on here. Outcome. Updates. Nope. So I mentioned the Grumpy Cat stuff, which is fine. We have CSDI or David Chamont or at Chamont Systems over on the Twitter saying, let's go. He is now the rank of master at number 38. So this is why, be advised, every now and then you have to go on and see, like, okay, if he's a master at 38 and I'm a diamond 1 at 48, clearly the MCP is not 100% done with. There's still a little kinks every now and then that have to be sorted out. It's fine. So if you're one of those people that's like, oh, I went from master to non-master, you'll be fine. Just give it a day or two and it'll be corrected. Children's show is not okay. Nope, not that. Be a lot of hopium. Okay, so we have. We'll go over this. It was on my video that says Veve whales going hard on grails, Veve getting ready for San Diego Comic-Con, what XRP ruling means for it. That was like yesterday, 2 days ago. We have Zachary Peony, 4520, saying, might just be the hopium in me speaking, but this shows that with the major catalyst and exchange listings, a coin can skyrocket instantly. So like OMI back in March of 2021 and XRP today, we are still in for a lot of upside. If you consider maybe they were waiting for this to end before making moves, I hate to use that as a reason for maybe why they haven't done stuff with OMI, but it would make sense since the OUP has a lot of gray area and they might have needed legal clarity before going hard with it, and can't say that to us. Regardless, all we need is major catalysts to be done, and then Viviverse using OMI to NFT, MCP wagering using OMI, and all that good stuff, and then exchanges and mass adoption by announcing Pokemon or huge brands, and we are still set for takeoff even greater amounts. I go and I respond, a 70% upswing is incredible for any investment, What makes today so bullish is that 70% upswing happened to a token that already had an over $20 billion market cap. There was a point today where the token had over 20 billion added to its market cap. When we could do 10% of that and do a 10x in one day. I believe that is possible. Darcy Donovan had tweeted yesterday, what NFT are you most excited about? I had mentioned my Luke Skywalkers. I talked to her about that with it today a little bit. She has never sold a Vivi NFT. She's only bought, her favorite is the Captain America NFT, is the first appearance. It is the Steve Rogers. It is the Marvel 90s. I talked to her a little bit about it off camera. I was like, Darcy, you have to get a bunch of these NFTs right now. And she's like, let's talk. So our relationship has deepened a little bit. We will go on and I'll be meeting her again. I'll get her on a live stream in September. And then, like I said, she should be coming to New York Comic Con in October. And again, 7 million followers across all platforms. She's a very good person to have in our corner. There are a lot of great people in our corner that I'm gonna start rolling out right now. Again, I'm not waiting. We're gonna go hard. Moving on here. Let me go and put this towards y'all. Let me go and, okay, there we go. Put that over there. Okay. Ooh. We have, I'm in New, ooh, can't say that. So be advised, if you are going to San Diego or New York Comic Con, there is a tweet from Screen Talk saying, during the SAG-AFTRA strike, actors will not be allowed to film any movies or TV productions, take part in any press junkets or film premieres, promote anything at San Diego Comic Con, and will be advised not to attend at all. But considering how long the writer's strike is lasting, I don't believe that these people are going to go and just not attend the cons at all. Again, like Chris Evans might not promote any Marvel stuff, but he'll go and sign autographs as Chris Evans. So if you were worried about that, I wouldn't be too much. I would just go have a good time. They'll most likely still be there. They might not promote the movie that they were appearing in, but you can still get an autograph with that person, most likely. Can we do it at, okay, no, tomorrow, gonna do that tomorrow. There's a meme. Oh, Baggins, here's a buddy of mine. This had been a year, I think 2 years after I'd gotten out of the military. So my boy Baggins, so his last name is Baginski, but I used to call him Baggins because Baggins short for Baginski. We deployed together. He was a reservist at my base. I love him. This is another picture I'm not going to show. So there's somebody called, I guess I don't know his username. He was on Reddit and he says, I now currently own 629 common Groot first appearances. Heckin' what? Yeah, 629 of those bad boys that he has. It just goes to show you that people stack crazy things. So we have official emoji over on Twitter saying, OMI prize went up. Winner of the tournament gets 200,000 OMI. Winner of the prediction bracket gets 150,000 OMI. See rules and announcement. Tournament's live tonight at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the Veve Discord. Shout out to Deadpool Whale for the support. So go to the Discord and you might be able to win a couple 100,000 OMI. Also, $9 trillion asset manager, I think it's 10 trillion, CEO of BlackRock says crypto will transcend international currencies due to global demand. Let me go and show you my Twitter on that real quick, because this is one of the most bullish things I've ever seen. We'll go back. Let's go back to the beginning. Oh, wow. All right. So, yeah. Quote, because it's international, it will transcend every other currency. Let me repeat that for you. Because it's international, it will transcend every other currency. Outside of the US dollar, I've never seen any other currency in the world be traded at any other part. Maybe if you have the BRICS nations, yeah, we're going to do some deals in the yuan or the Russian ruble, whatever. Outside of the US, I've really not seen that. I've not seen any other people in like Indonesia really covet, Mexican pesos, or really covet euros or the Swiss francs. Swiss francs are cool. The euro's cool for a while, but there's no other currency that really has that power that you want for a currency that goes international. The US dollar, which is really called the petrodollar because it's propped up by oil, that's it. Bitcoin is already international. There's going to be hundreds of billions and trillions of dollars going into crypto in general. All we need to do is just catch a small piece of that. Jesus, man. It's going to go to the freaking moon. Anywho, moving on. All right, there's a bunch. So yeah, Grumpy Cat had raised like $20,000 to get on other CEXs. Okay, we have. I guess the thumbnail is Dan and David on the. They were in China. They were in China recently, and they had taken a picture in front of an Ultraman poster. That's what the thumbnail is. And there's a buddy of mine that happened to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those airdrops. So there was a bunch of airdrops today, and you got them because Mr. MC1 even has a couple as well. But the reason you got one is because you need to hold either the Ultraman Series 1, the Rise of Ultraman Series 1, or the live action Ultraman. If you hold those, or if you held those, you are eligible for an airdrop, which is really cool. We have what's going on today. So we have Vivi Magic saying, the magic was with me this morning on Vivi Official. I was able to secure the whole set on the drop and got two-digit mints. Thank you, Disney. I love this set. I will be getting more. #Vivi. So why I wanted to go over this is because of the amount of money that Vivi had made on this. Let's take a look-see. All right, so it is, wow, so 960. Okay, so let's say 600 plus, okay, 400. All right, so that's about 1,000 plus another 400, so that's 1,400. There's another 350, so 1,750 plus 1,750 plus 900. So let's do this. So 1,750 plus 900, 2,650 times 40. Vivi made over $100,000 today on the drop. And it's been like, what, 12 hours? It's been a half a day. Yeah, it's been 12 hours, 12 minutes. Nice. So they've made $106,000 on this drop. And that's gross. That's just gross. That's not including the secondary market as well. That's an easy $100,000 for Vivi. Again, it's in top line revenue. We don't know how many of those gems were purchased on the app versus on the web version. We don't know, but shout out to Vivi for doing that. That is amazing. Other companies wish they could do that. I've been talking for 43 minutes. I'll save the other stuff for another date. I've already been talking for this long. I'll go and answer the comments right now. I'm just gonna go and take a little sip of the daddy soda. And then some of this. That's water. Anyway. Oh shit. Alright, moving on. Ooh, we got a lot. Wes says, I'm ready for this alpha. Heck yeah, brother. Croner says, let's get this bread again. Mo Collectibles 31 says, third. Latrice says, hey Randy. Hey Latrice, how's it going? Austin Scheme says, what alpha? Wes says, the daily alpha. Just in general, I just talk about just the news, but every now and then, like tonight, I have a little bit of alpha, which was sprinkled over the last 44 minutes of this, and also I'm a little tipsy. Vivi Wheels says, what up fam? Yo, what up Wheels? Uncle Mish says, yo, what's up everyone? How's it going, Uncle Mish? Smarty Pants says, let's go. Was happily surprised with my 8 Ultraman airdrops and excited for Grumpy Cat and now 4chan too. Even if it's lagging a bit, Grumpy Cat with 3 listings and others pre-approved once volume is up. Smarty Pants has 305 quadrillion 4chan and now 3.18 trillion Grumpy Cat. My body is so ready. Smarty Pants is gonna be richer than all of us. Jesus. Uncle Me says Ultraman drops for me too. Love the no info airdrops. That's exactly what the app is made for. Really truly believes the collectors at heart. Smarty Pants says, Uncle Mish, exactly. Unannounced airdrops are the best. We love them. Darth Chaos says, hello there. Ah, General Darth Chaos. Latrice says, you act too? Well, damn. Yeah. I only have one acting thing under my belt so far. That is the Looks Can Kill trailer, which just type in on YouTube Looks Can Kill trailer. You'll be able to see it. But I will be in at least 2 movies over the next couple of years, maybe even more. And like I said, you can be damn sure Veve will be represented in that. You can be damn sure that everyone in Hollywood will know about Veve. And yeah, sure, I could wear a shirt in a movie, that's fine. But I think at some point, like there's a scene in Transformers, this came out like 2014, where you have like a T-Rex in there, the dinosaurs, where they have some My Little Pony in there because Transformers is a Hasbro company. And obviously Hasbro owns My Little Pony as well. One of the people I live with, Megan, she was with me for that movie. It was great. Yeah, there's going to be everyone's going to know who Vivi is. Give it a year. It's going to happen. Moving on. Uncle Me says, anyone get the full Disney set today? I didn't, but you can get that for less than $200. Like you can get that for like $160 maybe. And guess what? It's like 30 MCP points every single day. It's a lot. Anywho, moving on. It says, I got all those poster sets. For me, I call them Grail sets. All 5. Those give 161 MCP points a day. Got to be something with those secret rare sets. Agreed. Uncle Me says, yeah, man. Smarty Pants says, I got the poster set too. Yeah, including mint number 42, Small World on drop. Dude, that's amazing. Dude, I'm so jealous. I'm so happy for you. I am says, what's the OMI news? I kind of went over that before a little bit. It's just kind of what it's been doing for the day. How many people are coming in? There's going to be a bit more. OMI's going to rocket 10x at some point next year. Mike Brooksbank says, sup, homies? Oh, well, hello, Mike. How's it going? Uncle Me says, I'm promoting on my side at my resort with screens, having my characters in AR at my resort. Other managers have no idea, LOL. Mr. MC1, who had come in, I recognize that you had come in 8 minutes after we started, but that was also 30 minutes prior to this. 40 minutes prior to this. I don't know. I don't know, Mr. MC1. I've been talking a lot. Lester Suarez says, Randy, the real Randy Chavez. How are you, bud? What's up, Lester? How's it going, fam? Says, love the medieval voice. Yeah, of course. You gotta go and be real. Mr. MC1 is laughing. Mo says, that guy's a clown. Matthew Yersel says, what's up, Randy? Been busy moving the past few months. Well, welcome back. I welcome you here. I hope you're doing well. And let's get this Veve, let's buy these Veve NFTs. Let's support the company. Let's buy a lot of OMI. Not financial advice. Prince Toby says, do you think you and your military platoon could take down any pony from My Little Pony, given you are a pony enthusiast and a former military man? Well, most ponies, sure. Most ponies are made of flesh and blood. I don't know how we would take on Princess Marie Cadenza's Royal Pony Force, because Shining Armor is a unicorn. Shining Armor does have magic about him and can potentially go and thwart all of our aircraft. Because again, a lot of ponies, especially the ones that live, Ponyville they're a bunch of Earth ponies. Sure, there's some unicorns that live there. Sure, there's some Pegasus that live there, but there are some ponies, like all the Pegasus, they live in the clouds. They live in Cloud City. So there's only so long that a bunch of these aircraft in the US could go and fly up there. Now, there are a bunch of aircraft that the KC-10s can refuel while in flight, keeping them in flight indefinitely. But the crew does need to sleep. There is limits to what they can do. And again, there are some ponies like Rainbow Dash that can outperform anything that the US military has to offer. Rainbow Dash can fly, I think, well over Mach 5. Rainbow Dash can do that sonic rain boom. Rainbow Dash and Rainbow Dash is also a black belt. So yes, as the military could take on most ponies, at least in Ponyville, and most ponies in the world, there are certain ponies that would just simply laugh and outlast us, whether it be with their abilities, whether it be the magic, whether it be the fact that they're faster. Um, the only way that the U.S. could really do something as the U.S. Air Force, it really would be, it would have to be tactical. It would have to be like, oh, hey, let's be friends, and then in the middle of the night, you know, which you really don't want to do. If you do want to go and have relations with a lot of the citizens afterwards, you can't just go and assassinate their leaders. You can't just go and assassinate um, Princess Celestia or Princess Luna. You have to go and yeah, that's really hard. And I know you probably weren't expecting all of that just for a My Little Pony response, but again, if they were real and I was brought into the Situation Room in the White House, I would tell them everything. I'd be like, hey, this is what you're up against. This is what their strengths are, their weaknesses are. And, be advised that even though there are some ponies like Pinkie Pie, which can bend the world of physics around her, um, each one of them by themselves, Applejack, yeah, kind of strong, but easily taken over by a tank or whatever. By themselves, really not that big of a threat, but all together, they form this unlockable bond. Again, the power of friendship that could just, there's really almost no limits to it. So I would be wary of that. I would try to take out three of them. I would try to take out Twilight, Fluttershy, and I guess Rarity. I guess the ones that would be really hard to take out would be Pinkie Pie, who can bend the laws of physics. It would be Twilight, that is the most proficient at magic, and then Rainbow Dash, who's stronger, faster, you're not going to sneak up on Rainbow Dash. Take out the other three, and the other three might flounder. So that would be my advice to the U.S. military. Moving on. Lester Suarez says, bro, when will you do the longest stream again? That was fantastic. That might take a while. Before the end of the year, I will do one super long stream. I'll try to do it for 100 hours. We'll see how it goes. I probably should have done it while these people were gone on the on like a cruise or whatever it is. I would need to really coordinate it because there's some times where I'm by myself for 10 hours at a time, and there are some times where people go and say like, hey, I want to come in, and there's like 20 people at once and I can't all have them on. Especially when I do something like that, David usually does want to come on, and I always say, hey, listen, if you happen to be on and David comes on, you could stay on. But if you were there for 16 hours and left and David came on 2 hours later, you cannot come back on. It's the luck of the draw. It's just pot luck. But some people that really want to be on when David's on, they're on for a while, they have to leave for work or family, whatever, and then David comes on, they're off. They do get a little bit salty. They do get, and it's unfortunate, but it's, that's how I have to run it, because again, if I have 30 people on in 40 hours and then David comes on the 50th hour or 60th or 70th hour or whatever it is, everyone's going to try to come in at once, and I just can't have that. So that's really what I like to do. So trying to convey that while also have people coming on, hey, can you do these hours, and then whatever time David comes on, he comes on. It's just one of the challenges that might not seem obvious to someone just looking on from the outside, but now they're on the inside. It's like, oh, hey, yeah, I didn't think of that, and so there is a lot of legwork. There is a lot of logistics that do have to go into it. I will do that before the end of this year. I'll keep you posted online. Oh my god. So we have potential humans saying Sanjay, Randy, other humans, howdy howdy, and JKillXRP saying, yo, what up, fam? JKill's a really good friend. Him and his wife, super fantastic. Love hanging out with them. I can't wait to see you guys again. Am I Miley Cyrus in 2004? Because I can't wait to see you again. Maybe 2009. The last time I freaked out, I just kept looking down. Sorry, I love this song. Vivi Wheels says, we are people of our Lord. Preach. And Raythax, thank you so much for that $100 super chat, saying just wanted to stop by and share some of my XRP profit. Veve will be one of the last platforms standing. Bet. Again, you do not want to bet against Raythax. The same way that you do not want to play against the Mets on opening day, you do not want to bet against Raythax. He has been right every single time, at least in the last few years, if not for years prior. I've only known him since 2020. Yeah, he's a fascinating man. Can't wait to get him on the podcast at some point. And Connor says, I've just seen the Looks Can Kill trailer. You are standing behind the yellow tape. Yeah, that's my friend Jessica Layton, who is actually a reporter. So they actually got a reporter to play a reporter on film. It was really cool to see behind the scenes stuff. It was really cool to be an extra and all that. I met so many cool people. I met so many amazing people on there. It was a great experience, and I can't wait to be a part of more of it. I can't wait to be a part of, bigger Hollywood films and get my IMDb page finally and get paid for that. You only get paid when that sells, so that'll be fun. It's just great. Guys, there's some, for people that have maybe, and I tell this to people a lot, I'm gonna need a drink for this. Never go through life saying that you should have. If there's something that you could do, you have the opportunity to do it. I don't care if it takes you away from family, takes you away from friends, loved ones. I don't care if it takes you away from your hometown or all that you've ever known. Go and do it. My life would be, and there's pros and cons to each. Let's say the military. For the most part, I spent most of my life in the US, in mostly one spot. And even though, I wasn't necessarily happy, there was at least some consistency and some, routine to my daily life. And if I were to never have joined the military, I would still be doing whatever I was doing. Could I have gotten into streaming and whatever and investing eventually? Sure. But it's just going in and being able to say like, hey, I've been to other countries, other continents, other places. It's something that you just don't get to do if you are, just stationary and never leave your hometown. Am I a little, messed up because of it? Yes. Do I have some new addictions? Do I have some new issues that I wouldn't have otherwise had? Sure. Yeah, I would have been a little bit more mentally healthy had I stayed. But, that's, and again, this is just one example. I mean, like, it doesn't have to be that. It could be, hey, my company wants me to relocate. Okay, do it. Your company wants you to travel, whatever. If you have the opportunity to do that, do that. One, because it's a new experience. You will learn from it. And two, like, you get to see other places that you'd never see in the US. You get to experience other cultures. You get to experience other people. And just the way that they do things. A normal person in New York is different from a normal person in West Virginia. Is different from Florida, different from Texas. And that's just within the US. Go travel. Go take that road less traveled and do that path. That's my Chavez advice for the night. Uncle Mish says, wow. I know, right? Walrus King says, easy to dismiss the FUD from my end. Having so much fun in the space. Let's go. He says, legs go. Collecting Fire says, GG, yo, good game. OmiToken.eth says, this person was douchey with that. Yes, they were. Matthew Yersel says, awesome. Veve will be standing. Omi too. Yes, 100%. Omi will be standing. Omi will have that, again, because of that XRP ruling, most likely you will have the people that work at Vivi and OMI saying, oh, hey, we might have a little bit more breath. We might have a little bit more room to run and operate. And you might see some OMI. I guarantee you, there's one thing of OMI that will come out. They'll roll it out without talking about it. And then they'll start talking about what's next to roll out. This is my opinion, but They didn't talk about waitlist, they didn't talk about crafting, they didn't talk about burning. They just rolled it out. So it would make some poetic sense that they would not talk about OMI, whatever utility that they want to do first. They'll roll it out, and then they'll talk about the next things that they want to roll out afterwards. Again, just my opinion. When we talk about he says, it is frustrating watching the team move slow through, though, for real. It is. And again, I'm not one of those people that, my account went from $1,000 to $30,000 and back down to $5,000. No, I had over $1 million in OMI, just in OMI. And I lost over $1 million. So I am 100% one of those people that really want this to moon and pump. But again, for the long-term investors, people that are here, and again, you're not, I don't care if 99% of the people that invest in OMI are short-term investors. If 100% of them are. The companies that Veve works with are long-term companies. Universal, Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, Fox. All of these companies that Veve works with, they're not short-term. They're not for the quick flip. They're not for going and saying, oh, hey, I'm going to buy X and then pay back Y. Like, they're not that. They're there for the long run. If you can't handle the volatility, don't invest. There's a lot of things that you could do that maybe you're not doing. Oh, Lordy, I gotta... Thank you, Potential Human, for saying Randy on fire with the live stream tonight. Well, I'm trying. Oh, Randy's Angels chat. I have a chat with... I can't even say what it's about. Moving on. Omitoken.e says, crypto is straight copied all the way down to the golden tickets, let's be real. Which is fine. That's a compliment. The way that other companies like Cryptoys want to model themselves after Veve, that's great. Veve is the proven system of success. It makes poetic sense that Cryptoys would want to copy. Uncle Me says, it's cringy to see Veve influencers flock to the first offer even though they might believe in it. Like, all the frustrations they had with Veve is going to be worse and way behind. You're right. I mean, there's a ton that's like that. I don't want to go too far into them, but I will say that, yeah, you really should have some type of, not commitment, but just that sense of loyalty. And I know that sense of loyalty is really something that is, I could not outspoken, outdated. And yeah, but some people, oh, I'll take this $500 check. Veve is not giving me anything. I've made tons of videos for Veve. This company is giving me $500 for it. If you want to sell your soul for $500, I'm not going to stop you. That's whatever. You got to pay the bills. But that's just stupid. Why? Again, I'm sure if Veve would even consider me for their ambassador program, and I'll tell you right now, I even told David in last year at DesignerCon, when he had told me about the Veve ambassador program, I said, and he brought it up, talking about the ambassador program. They wanted to roll it out this year. They still might. It'll probably be next year though. I said, hey, listen, David, like, we know each other, and I love you. Nothing will ever change that. If you decide that maybe the people you want for the ambassador program, maybe you don't want them drinking on stream. Maybe you don't want them on LSD. Maybe you don't want them doing whatever. I understand. If you don't pick me, I'm still gonna do what I do because I love it. And he said, don't worry about it. It's like, okay, but I haven't been on Lucy on a stream since then. Even though he said it was not fine, but he just said, don't worry, just out of respect for him. Again, Veve, any single person that had done a video on Veve up until this point, it does not matter. When they do go out and roll out their affiliate program, whatever it's called, every single person with 50,000 subscribers and higher are going to go and say like, oh, hey guys, they're going to apply for it. Why? because they are more entertaining. I'm not going to say they're more knowledgeable because they're not, but they're more entertaining, and they'll have more followers, and they'll know how to engagement farm, and they'll make it just because they want to make money, which is fine. If whatever brings more users to Veve, I'm 100% okay with that. I'm not someone that's gonna be all rapacious and I'm gonna grasp at straws for more money. I'll never do that. If other people want to do that, again, that's their prerogative. The one thing I do find issue with though is those people that are like imperious, that are just like, oh, I've made, quote, I was the biggest influencer. I'm the biggest Veve whale, the biggest Veve influencer, and I'm gonna have more money than Dr. Profit one day, end quote. Like any one of those people that try to be imperious, that try to be super important and name drop and do whatever, and then they just really have nothing of context to show. Like I said, you can't do that and automatically assume you have the Percocets to go and call out the team or call out any one of the community. I just don't believe in that. Like, and then to go on and make quid videos on top of that, like you're a quisling. Like you're not someone that I want to hang out with. And it's not like, it's not even a thing of malfeasance, because it's not wrongdoing by like a public official. It's someone that's just pretending to be in the public limelight, and they're just pretending to be erudites. They're pretending that they read the Harvard Shell for the morning fucking oatmeal. Excuse my language. I'm so sorry. I get pissed off at those people because they're just like, oh, I'm gonna give you a lecture on this because I know all. I live with my mom. I live in my mom's basement, but I know all. I'll give you a lecture on phonology, etymology, and all this jazz. And it's like, dude, like nobody's gonna accuse you of being a profiteer because you consistently buy high and you sell low. I just, not that I don't. It's just an extremely odious experience for me when I have to interact with those people. If there is a problem, I really do have a lot of respect for people that keep things like entre nous, that keep things between private. If you talk to someone in private, okay, we'll settle it. And I feel like what I'm talking about is not esoteric. It's not supposed to be just happened upon by just a small number of people. I feel like most people can go and grasp this. I feel like most people that watch me, if I explain the mosaic theory on Vivi and OMI, like they'll get it. I think there are some influencers that try to obfuscate certain things, and they try to make things super unclear or unintelligible, and they go and they think like, oh, well, I'm the only one that can explain it, and they cast aspersions upon other influencers, and it's like, okay, well, that's the wrong thing to do. I try to be like the woman that I just had on. I try to be like Darcy, who is very beneficent, and like I said, if there was any detente that I could do to ease relations between these guys, I totally would. But unfortunately, a lot of the times, if you go and you have legitimate arguments and legitimate things saying, hey, I like Veve, but they could do this, this, and this better, that's fine. There's a lot of things that they could have done better. There's a lot of things that they are doing better now. This is a different company than it was a year ago, and it's for the better. But when people say that like Vivi's dead or OMI is dead, and they try to flood your investment based on no knowledge, I do have some roiling antipathy because of that, and that's not something that I want to go and. Veve has never gone and run afoul of any of these regulations. They've continuously stayed aloft where other companies have not. Other companies have not stayed afloat, and they are bleeding money. And I just, I don't like that. Anyway, again, I've been talking way too much about all this. Let's go and go to some other things that I have had on the comments. Moving on. Only Token Aziz says they don't believe in it. They're greedy and two-faced. Uncle Me says facts, Randy. Thanks, Sam. Yeah, Vivi influencers, like all the frustrations they had with Vivi is gonna be worse. Yep. Prince Toby says Randy is an exception. He's a real homie. He might like My Little Pony, and I can see him wearing a Pinkie Pie fursuit, but he's not like others. He's honest and cares about the community. Yeah, I mean, Pinkie Pie's great. I love her. I think Rainbow Dash is best pony, but if we're talking about it, Pinkie Pie's cool. Uncle Me says they play victim and then try to be smart by trying to convince us all we are being wronged. The people that I understand being bullish at the top, because that has served me very well in the past. I've made videos saying, hey, here's why I'm buying Tesla at the top. Here's why I'm buying Pokemon cards at the top. And for some Vivi NFTs and OMI, it had worked out as well. And then it didn't. But some people that are making super bullish videos at the top and are now making super FUD videos at the bottom, dude, it's freaking stupid. Anyway, moving on. Prince Toby says the fact that American symbols are being held by non-Americans just shows how influential America is. If anything, it is a show of soft political power. That's a fair point. I see that. Bill Gardner says, what up? How's it going? JKRB says, hi. How's it going, JKRB? I hope you're doing well. What was I? Oh god, where was I? OmiToken.e says, OMI involves pop culture. It's global. 100 billion plus isn't out of the question with mass adoption. Agreed. Shoot the bears. Cheers, mate. And by the way, guys, this doesn't just have to be an OMI and Veve conversation. Ask me anything. Let's be real and let's ask me anything. Anyway, OmiToken.eth says OmiToken.eth will be like license plates in Dubai. I bet it will. He says should have blind boxed today's drop. I thought it was a blind box. I guess it wasn't, but whatever. Alan Hanagar says why no movement in the Carmine Infantino Robin? There wasn't? I thought there was. Maybe I'm tripping, but I could have sworn that there was. Excuse me. It's $300. Was that not? Has that not moved? It seems like it has been. Listen, this is why I say sub 100s are key. What is the cheapest Carmine Infantino Robin? $3,500. It's clearly a lot. I've put in mind saying he wants to do this type of thing ASAP. I gotta go and talk to some people after this. Big A says, any thoughts on CoffeeZilla talking to the Vive community people digging around for info on OMI? I haven't seen that, so tag me in it or send me something on Twitter and I'll take a look and I'll see if I can get CoffeeZilla on the podcast to really go over what's going on. I think that'd be great. I would love to have him on and really fill him in. I could definitely give an unbiased opinion. Yeah. JL says, let's go, Vive. Prince Toby says, if all 46 US presidents did a giant Dragon Ball Z fusion dance, you think their combined strength, speed, political persuasion, techniques, and battle IQ could beat Captain America? Most likely. I mean, you do have a couple presidents that are really old and close to being dead. But you have a couple of presidents that were just, listen, the amount of whiskey and alcohol that was drank at the celebration party, one at the signing of the Declaration of Independence and the celebration, like, listen, you have all of them fused together. Abe Lincoln already was a wrestler, a pretty decent fighter, and then you have Ulysses S. Grant, one of the biggest drinkers in U.S. presidential history, the one that helped, well, almost won a war, basically helped win a war. Basically, Ulysses S. Grant that is helped combine the country with the Continental U.S. Railroad. George Washington, yeah, all of these people together could take on Captain America if they fuse together into one. Now, again, a lot of the presidents the last several, I don't think President Biden is going to add a lot of strength to that character. I don't think President Trump could have added a lot of strength to that character. Again, as far as brute force going on. Obama, yeah, he was young. Bush was a Texan, might have had a little, he was in the Guard too, so might have had a little practice with a rifle. I do think there's a fair amount of precedents if you fuse them together, fusion hostile. All of them together could probably take on Captain America. Moving on. Mr. 100 says his Coffeezilla and his financial backers wants to take on Veve. Bring it. Well, I would like him on the podcast. That'd be great. But Sophie says if Cavell doesn't get accepted, he'll probably just use it as fuel to justify him slandering Veve attention. I think the last video he did was actually bullish, but yes, I agree. Jail says, I think Cavell has a talent. He's just immature. He also doesn't understand market cycles. He crapped on Veve right at the bottom of the market. Yeah, honestly, there's a lot of people here that don't understand market cycles. That are just, well, let me say it this way. There's a lot of people here. Well, there's a quote I should find that says, when people toe the line, a lot of people realize that they should have never been there in the first place. And when people, especially men, I think 30% of men under the age of 30 have not had sex in the last year. And the reason I bring that up is because most men are invisible, especially under the age of 30. When you are small, you're weak, you haven't come into your own yet. And when you're like a late teen, early 20s, there's Chads out there. There are football players. There are some people that develop early. And most of these men, again, a small fraction of these men are coveted by women. Most women want men that are 6 foot. Most women want men that have good jobs, that have a cool car, have whatever it is. A lot of these decent men that are trying, that are just not as poor, or they're not as rich, and their bodies aren't that developed, and they're getting looked over. And a lot of that does fall into the YouTube world, where a lot of these guys that are into tech, yeah, they might be smart in certain aspects, but they've never had this attention. Most men do not get this attention that you get as an influencer. And when you take men like that are super young, that haven't lived life yet, that said that a boy doesn't really become a man until their father dies. And when you have these young kids that have never gotten attention before, and now they suddenly get a little attention on YouTube, and their fathers are still there, and they can suck off their teat, and their father's balls are dangling when their balls should be, they just don't have any life experience. And then suddenly when they get a little bit of attention, and then it goes away, oh, hey, why is my attention going away? Let me alter my behavior so I get more attention. That's what toddlers do. That's what kids do. Oh, mom's not paying attention to me. Let me cry. And then that'll get the attention. It's like what toxic exes do. When they go and say, oh, my ex isn't paying attention to me. Let me be toxic. So at least this way, the negative attention is better than no attention at all. That is exactly what some of these influencers do. They have a little bit of attention, it goes away, and they start whining and complaining, and they post it out there, and then they get a little bit more attention, and they get that positive reinforcement. Oh, if I'm negative, if I'm super negative and FUD this investment and really try to be beside myself, other people will follow. But again, this is in this little fishbowl that people have, that they're not out in the real world. They're out in this little small subsect of people that will follow them because they are telling it like it is. A lot of people that tell it like it is really have not satisfied their own trauma. They have not gone on saying, oh, they haven't recognized, I'm not telling it like it is. I am just rude to people because I haven't gone and dealt with my own trauma. Like, that's exactly what that is. That's exactly what people go and that had a little bit of influence no longer have it, and they try and recoup that by being negative because misery loves company. And there are a good amount of people that will see through it, that will say, hey, I see what you're doing, and I'm not going to abide by it. And there are some people that will go on and try to suck them off and be like, oh yes, you're so smart, I totally believe in you. And when you go and tell your investors to sell at the bottom, are you freaking kidding me? That's just the absolute wrong thing to do, in my opinion. Again, this is not financial advice, but a lot of these people are just worrying about the attention that they're getting, the views that they're getting, and will make these, outlandish tweets or outlandish videos, and they won't care about the long-term consequences. They'll just say, hey, the short-term consequences, I'm getting more engagement, I'm getting more likes and more comments and more views. And that's all they'll work for. Not realizing that one of those people that they told to buy at the top and then sell at the bottom, I've seen people that have killed for less. And you're probably going to have a very sad day at some point, because somebody that had a little bit of influence told people to buy at the top and sell at the bottom, and someone's going to listen, and that's going to be their life savings, and now they can't afford to rub 2 nickels together for their grandma, and you're going to have a bad day. And a lot of these kids that are 20 something years old that haven't lived life yet, have not yet felt the warmth of a woman, they don't understand that, and they're not thinking long term. And this is the darker side of YouTube fame. This is the darker side of everything. But you could take 80% of people and they'll be like, they'll take it, and whatever. But there's going to be a small subsection of people that are not going to take it. They're going to make like Twisted Sister, and they're going to fudge some stuff up. Anywho, moving on here. JL says, I don't dislike Cavell. I have acknowledged his talents. He just flip-flopped without fundamentals, changing as much as he claimed. He was swayed by sentiment. Yeah, I mean, again, you have that phrase, a little bit of knowledge is very dangerous. And someone that maybe has seen one thing once before, they can go and relate it to that. And again, that's fine. But I would like to point out that I've never stopped making videos. I think total this year I've missed 7 days, and multiple days I make 2 videos a day, sometimes more. Well, most days I make at least 1, but a lot of days I make 2 videos a day, sometimes more. But the thesis and the mosaic principle of this company, the theory of this company has not changed. It has stayed exactly the way it has been. It's only gotten better, actually. But some people don't see that. They don't understand cycles. They don't understand sentiment. They don't understand the amount of money that Vive's making. And they just go off community sentiment, and they say what people think they want to hear, and oftentimes it's not good. JL says, Cavell has his place in the discourse as a bear. He should not, however, go into ego battles with others. Agreed, he definitely should not. OmiToken.e says, David Yu is a classy fella. He is. Prince Sophie says, in the 1800s terms, David Yu would be quite a dapper gentleman. It would be. I wonder what David would be like in the 1800s. I guess he would still collect stamps. Maybe rocks. I don't know. We'll ask him. JKRB says, when are you getting a haircut, Randy? Every now and then someone cash apps me to cut my hair, and I'll do it then. But again, I just had a meeting with Darcy Donovan. She does want me for her next movie and to have long hair. So I will keep you posted. Mr. 100 says, Veve Airdrop made my day. Amazing. Yeah, the Airdrop is great. We love that. This is how you do it. You go and you don't announce it. You just do it. But again, that's because of the license. With Disney, you have to announce an Airdrop beforehand, or have to announce utility. Marvel, I think you do as well. But with certain things, you don't. Prince Sophie says, Drunk Randy is a better philosopher than Confucius. Just tell me. I have to go and Snapchat that, because that's amazing. My fans Love drunk Randy. Oh god, I misspelled that. How did you know I was drunk? Okay, I understand. Anyway, let's wait for that to go on the Snapchat, the chat of snaps, and then we'll move on. Mr. Coin says hi. Stephen Duarte says that's what she said. Jo says, "Are you still a master collector, Randy, or have you gone down in rank?" I was a master collector until like 5 minutes ago. Now I'm Diamond 1, despite me having 500,000 points. But again, I think most people over the 45 level MCP point are master collectors. I have this theory. So in the 2010s, in the military, if you were living on off base, every now and then you would get a letter from the base saying, hey, your home or apartment, whatever it is using 4 times the amount of electricity as other apartments or houses. And then as a consequence of that, you go and think, oh, I should maybe stop the air conditioning every now and then, or stop this every now and then. And then you realize that every single person on this freaking base got it. And it's like, oh, they're just telling us they want to conserve energy or power or whatever. So yeah. What was this question again? I forget what this. Oh yeah. So I have this theory that the base does that so people will stop using power. Now to connect this to Veve, I believe that Veve every now and then will take somebody that's MCP level 48 and they will go and they say, oh, you're not a master collector right now. Somebody has surpassed you. Telling people, hey, you're not a master collector. If you want to continue being a master collector, you buy some more sets. You buy from the store. You complete your set. You get more volume. And then that forces people to do that. And then a day or two later, they say, oh, you have bought enough sets. You're now a master collector. When it was really just their faulty wiring. Again, I saw somebody that was level 38 be a master collector, and I'm 48 and I'm a Diamond 1. Clearly something's freaking off. So that's my theory. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Tony Dolce says, hey Randy, I think tomorrow Veve will announce something good to keep us engaged to begin San Diego Comic-Con. Maybe not. They might only announce it like the day or the week of. Be advised. I don't know if I can say that. There was a delay on Veveverse for a reason. That reason has mostly been taken care of. I don't believe anything crazy will come at San Diego Comic-Con. I believe that some crazy announcements will happen between now and New York Comic-Con, or maybe even at New York Comic-Con. But I don't believe there's anything going to be crazy announced at San Diego. We'll have some fun drops. But, we'll see. Again, I won't be there. I feel like maybe I should be, but I won't. But, you'll see me at New York. Moving on. Mr. 100 says Cavell still has a channel? ? Apparently. Prince Toby says, Randy is a real-life South Park character who gives inspiration to main cast before being comically killed by a meteor. Or Eric Cartman kills him comedically. Dude, that would be so great to be a part of the family, or not the Family Guy, the South Park roster. To have them make a South Park character out of you would be insane. That's like, so back in the day, in the time of Shakespeare, there's some theories that Shakespeare actually never wrote his own work. That he would write some babble, whatever, and other people would check it and they would write it. But that's a theory. Shakespeare most likely did write most, if not all, of his own work. But there were a couple of people that did proofread Shakespeare's writings. And while they proofread it, they would take out one of Shakespeare's lines. Like Shakespeare had his sonnets. A lot of his sonnets were written in iambic pentameter, which means that they were 10 syllables each line. And these proofreaders would take out his perfect lines and they would put in one of their own. They wouldn't tell him about it. They wouldn't leave a note. They wouldn't take credit for it. But they knew that back then, that Shakespeare's works would be studied and revered forever. And so far, that's been true. Like, if there was a famous author or famous artist, singer, whatever, writer, and I could go and insert one of my lines, like, hey, Chavez, you have a job proofreading this. Cool. And I saw a line that could be made better. And I go, like, let's say Jonathan Hickman's New Avengers, Young Avengers, Secret Wars, whatever. If I knew that there was one line in there that I could make better and I put in my own line, I also would not say anything. I would just make the change because that work is just going to be valued and studied and coveted by people forever. And in that same breath, Prince Toby, talk about Eric Carmichael's canonically, to be a part of South Park, to be a part of Family Guy, or anything in the, in modern history, that would just mean that people would watch me forever. And I would love that. I think after Veve goes and, in 30 years, 50 years, kind of run its course, whatever, and after I'm gone, people would probably not really remember Chavez 30 years after that. But if I'm in a South Park episode or I'm in a Family Guy, that would be seen somewhere. I think that would be really fun. But again, Veve could be, well, it's already a multi-billion-dollar industry. It would probably be decabillionaire or 100 billions at some point. Again, just my opinion. Moving on. Toyota Prius says, hey Randy, are you drunk? Randy, not very. I really tried to hold it together, but apparently I'm tipsy AF. Dale says, I'm level 36 and a master right now. It's strange. You are 48 and lower in rank than me. Is this a bug? I think it is a feature. I think it is people. I think it is the company trying to get people to continuously buy more, so they stay in that master rank, which is fine. JKRB says, ranks are based on your daily MCP points. Levels are based on your total MCP points, I think. I have 740 points a day. It should be master, but maybe I'm not. Who knows? Uncle Me says, after today, your brains will be snoozing. Says, after today, I should be getting 1,000 MCP a day. That Disney posters 35 points set it off. Those Disney poster secret rares are such golden sleepers. Agreed. Prince Toby goes on and says, I had a dream last night where a raptor with your head chased me while I was on a roller coaster singing, I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Wait, so was I climbing on... Alright, so roller coasters are everywhere, and raptors, I feel like, are really only on the ground. Was I running on the roller coaster track chasing you? Or were you, like, on the ground on a roller coaster and I was running beside you? Really curious about that. You have wild dreams, but so do I. My dreams are more psychedelic. They're not really crazy. I don't really get nightmares too much anymore. Knock on wood. Prince Toby, tell your mom I texted her. We have stuff to talk about. Yeah, but mostly my dreams are pretty fair. I don't know about, again, curious to see what happened in your dream. Anywho, we have one or two things to talk about still. I probably won't make a video tomorrow. I am going to go live at night just because I have that amazing podcast with Royalty, so that'll be fun. He is the first openly gay prince in the world, so that will be interesting to talk about as well, especially in India because India still has conversion therapy as legal, so that's really interesting. But for the most part, I'll talk about him with love, how he deals with being in a part of the world that maybe a high percentage of the population won't accept him. I really want to know what he has plans for in the US, in other parts of the world, in any type of newer legislation he wants to get passed outside of that. We'll see. Anywho, I think that's it for me today. I am quite tipsy. I've been talking for about an hour and a half. And we're going to get out of here. Yep, that is it. Everyone, please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashie. Bye-bye, Dashie. I love you guys. Class dismissed. Yeah. Thank you, Raythax, for the super chat. There's always the conspiracy theory that Shakespeare was a Muslim or a Buddhist. I don't know. He could have been. I mean, I wasn't there. I don't know. That'd be fun. That'd be interesting to see if any of his works line up with that. Mr. 100 says, one thing that pissed me off is most Veve YouTuber channels had 5 followers before Veve, give them a channel, and thousands of subscribers. Now they knife Veve in the back. Yeah. Again, that's just the young in them. That's just them not knowing, like, they don't know any better. Hopefully they realize this now, but, we'll see. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. So, bye, Dashie. Bye, Dashie. I love you guys. Bye. Meow, meow. Thank you, Raythax, for the super chat. I love you. Meow, meow, meow. Meow. Wendy.